I recently realised just how many encounters in D&D devolve into a apply axe to the situation and repeat as necessary type. So I decided I was going to build something for the archers and the ranged characters, so they could have the same kind of fun that the bruisers usually do.
I found this tube of potato chips on sale, and after devouring its starchy contents, I drew a circle round the base and measured a circle a little over an inch wide around it. I transferred these measurements to some offcuts to save on foam and cut along the inside and outside lines to end up with a crescent shape, which would pressure fit to the table. I actually did this with two pieces, so I had one to go higher and one to go lower. Once these were cut out, I used some craft store silicone adhesive to attach some stirrer sticks from Starbucks to the top. This would work just as well with popsicle sticks, but I wanted the look of thinner boards. The silicone adhesive might have been a minor mistake, and you'll see why in a little bit. In order to cut right up to the edge without splitting the stirrer sticks or pulling them free from the foam, I found a nail clippers I got last year and never used, which turned out to be the perfect tool for the job. This was admittedly trickier on the inside, but I made it work. I took two more stirrer sticks, marked out half-inch increments, and coated them with wood glue. I also cut a bunch of matchsticks to 1-inch lengths. Having never used wood glue for its intended purpose before, it took me a while to realise I needed to coat the matchsticks as well. I attached the matchsticks and left this to dry overnight. I took an offcut of expanded foam, made a circle bigger than I needed, and basted it in black. Then I covered it in wood glue and laid down a bunch more stirrer sticks. Once these were dry and secure, I cut off the edges. Next, I used a roll of masking tape as a guide and cut off the edges of the foam. With this done, I flipped it and used the tube to draw out a circle on the wooden side. I marked out two lines a little over an inch apart and used the planks to guide the blade in a straight line all the way through. Then I removed the foam in this section, and finally I carefully snapped off the sticks to leave a gap for the ladder to fit through. I didn't show it here, but I cut a bunch of craft stick tongue depressor things to about 1.5 inches and hot glued them into place round the edges. As you can probably guess, I base coated my off-brand Pringles tube in a medium grey. Then I used my trusty scourer sponge to start stippling on a light tan. I actually moved onto a stippling sponge for the next stage, which was in a Payne's grey, but I didn't like the look it gave, so I switched back to my scouring sponge for the last two, which are a green and a light tan. I painted all the exposed wood in a medium brown off camera. I left this to dry, and now I'm painting on a couple of coats of a homemade wash. I made this using water, black paint, some green paint, and I used some dish soap as well. Apparently this thins the mixture. The problem, as you may have spotted with the silicone glue, is that it's water repellent. As such, the paint didn't want to stick with it, and what paint did stick with it was washed off when I applied this coat. It wound up looking good in the end, but that was dumb luck. I actually drew on the brickwork here. I just used a thick black marker. I tried to randomize the blocks, and I really liked the effect in the end. What I was thinking for the combat encounter here was a tower with a sorcerer on top, a couple of archers on the bridges, and some bugbears on the ground. The bugbears could keep the fighters busy, and the ranged fighters could deal with the other guys. You can pull that ladder up, so if you wanted to just make this a ranged encounter, you can do it that way.
So that is how I turned one of these into one of these. I really like the look of the rocks on this. I think the cartoonish look serves it well. You don't always need to make hyper-realistic terrain. As long as you're enjoying doing what you're doing, that's the main part. So thanks for watching. If you enjoyed what you saw, leave a thumbs up. Leave a comment if you'd like to see me make something specific in the future. And subscribe to see what Fig makes next.